Alright, what's up YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the most frustrating defense coverage to play against here in college football 25 and Madden 25. Really, this is something that translates to both games, is good in every game that EA makes here, and it's the double Mable coverage. Cover 2 double Mable, both sides are going to be putting a cloud flat deep and then a curl flat short. I'm going to talk about exactly all the details of why we do certain things with that defense and the way we do it. But stay tuned for the ride. You're going to learn a lot from this video. Probably one of the most helpful videos that I'm dedicating this double Mable to, because I do talk about it a lot in my gameplays and in some of my defense ebooks, but here this is exactly why it works. Full video for you guys. So don't forget down below, hit the like button, the subscribe button, turn the notifications on so that you never miss another BLT for Life upload, and let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first thing we have to talk about when we run this defense is the coaching adjustments. Probably the most important part. Auto flip, this doesn't really matter. I told y'all in another video, always have this on. Cornerback matchups is also relevant. Defense and motion response. You're running zone coverage with this cover 2 double Mable. So you want to have this disabled. You don't want your slot corner following receivers around when he's in a vert hook. When he's in man coverage, it's fine. But here we're in zone, so we want this disabled. Option defensive read key, focus on the quarterback. But here, this is the mainly thing I'm talking about. So we want to have our flats on 25, our curl flats on 5, and hook zones. Sometimes I put them on 5, sometimes I put them on 10, sometimes I leave them on default. It really just depends on how they're playing throughout the game. Are they playing good on default? If they do, then I leave them on default. And if I start to get annoyed with how they're guarding stuff, then I manually set them. So, but I always have 25 and 5. Sometimes I do go 30 and 10, but most of the time I'm a 25 and 5 guy. So this is the coaching adjustments that we like. Call me BLT Yaps, because that was a pretty long intro to get to what we're talking about here. But cover 2 double Mable, all we're gonna do, you can come out in a cover 2, like cover 2 drop right here if you want. When I run my defense from this nickel 3D stack, I always come out in this play linebacker blitz 0 because of the blitz angles that these guys are on. Like you've seen in some of my gameplays, I always come out in this play and then I make adjustments from it. So I mean, I don't mind making adjustments. Like I feel like I can make these adjustments really fast. And lovely players not showing because we're in practice mode, man. Whoever designed practice mode, I just don't like you. All right, and there we go. Finally, we get it to pop up. So this is what you traditionally play against, a cover 2 defense, and they might have a vert hook here. So this is what you normally play against. Now, they might not send 5 every play, but a cover 2 defense, right? So all we're going to do, and how you can easily just beat this defense, is you put X on a shriek, right? So we take the snap, we have X on, and we just get immediately sacked. So that's beautiful. Definitely helps to prove my point here of how good, of how bad that defense is. But anyway, you could see the reason why we can't just sit in a cover 2 is because we're able to get over the top of these cloud flats. It's kind of a problem here in this game where you can just get thrown over. Now another thing that we're going to talk about here, what happens when we motion over our tight end and we put him on an out route? We create a flood concept against a cover 2. This is exactly how, if you watch my videos, this is exactly how I talk about you beat a cover 2 defense. You just run flood concept on them all game because you're able to see what's going to happen. There's one cloud flat defender that's responsible of guarding 2 routes. So we take the snap here and boom, we have our out route open. Once again, I get shedded, which is just making this video very helpful here. But we were just able to see we have this out route open. And why? Because this cloud flat, he's basically picking between, do I guard this corner out here or do I take this out route? He can't guard both of them because because they're running to 2 different spots on the field. So the answer to this for us on defense is to just simply run a cover 2 double Mable. And a lot of the time you also want to back off your cloud flats even more than they already are, because especially here in this game, they tend to get run over a lot. But the reason also why I love coming out in this play, linebacker blitz 0, is because you're showing them a covered 0 every play. And we're able to make adjustments out of that. So when you're playing against someone who's a little high level and they like to read defenses or whatever, you're really showing them the same cover 0 look every play. But for us, how I normally run this defense is you're able to see players not showing up once again over here on this right side. But this guy, Lufua, or whatever this guy's name is, he's in a curl flat, just like on the other side. So it's the same thing on both sides. And you can also man up the slot receiver. You can leave the slot corner and vert hook. But, you know, we go ahead and call the same little play here. I actually don't know why he's following him because I have defensive motion response disabled. So I don't know why he's following him, but we take the snap here and boom, our curl flats are right there to take that away. No more flood concepts for them. Flood concepts are absolutely blanketed, you know, when you call this defense. Why? Because look, now what we have is, okay, look, we have a curl flat to take away our out route, and then we have a, our corner route is guarded by both our curl flat and our man coverage. So that's what makes the cover 2 double Mable so good, is, you know, when they call, you know, flood concepts. That's kind of, you know, the reason why it's even put into the game here. What's up, YouTube? Before we jump back in this video, I need you guys to go hit me with a follow on social media, my TikTok and my Twitch, or BLT for Life 21. It's going to be on the screen. And then my Instagram and my Twitter is BLT for Life 22. Go hit me with a follow over there. We'll definitely make a better college football and really Madden player. I upload tips on both of those on all my social media. So hit me with a follow over there, and let's jump right back into the video. But another reason is because what happens when you're playing against tight formations? That was a flood concept over there to the left side there. Well, what if they just go double corner out to the other side? Well, that's when, you know, you start to say, okay, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna run the cover 2 double Mable, because if you just run, so Mabling is just putting a D flat and a short flat. Double Mable is doing that on 2 sides, both sides. So when I play against, like, let's just say, for example, they called a route combo like this, where they're going to block their running back, they're going to put Y on an out route, and Y is on an out, player's not showing up again. Just love this. All right, so they're only attacking one side of the field here. There is no way that they can really call a corner out over here to the Isaiah Bond side, because, you know, there's only one receiver. So right here, I would just blitz. I would blitz this linebacker. I wouldn't have to Mable that side, put a short flat and a D flat. But over here on the right side, I would need to do that. So we go ahead and take the snap here, and once again, we just have that. That's just a really good defense. You know, it probably should have been a breakup, but whatever. They pick up 2 yards. So that's what we could call just a Mable. That's just a Mable. We're only doing it on one side. Against when they, you know, run a tight formation where they call a play like this, where they go with a route combo like this. But now we need a double Mable, because they're doing really the same thing on both sides, where they're going to be attacking our cloud flats. And if we don't have flats on both sides to take away both their short flat and their deep flat, we have a chance to give it up. So double Mable here, we can, sometimes I man up this slot receiver, sometimes I, you know, put that guy in a verhook like I said. But, you know, right here we take the snap, and we have both our corner out blanketed, and we're gonna have their flood concept blanketed over there on the right side, because, you know, we run our double Mable coverage. We have our short flat here, and I don't know if they buff curl flats in this game, because I was in practice mode like literally last week, and in playing games, the curl flats, they still were terrible. Right here, now they're actually guarding stuff, which is a great sign to see. I've been saying I hate the way that they play since the day the game came out. But here, you're able to see our corner outs guarded over here by our cloud flat. And like I said, you might even want to back them up a little bit, because the longer the quarterback gets in the pocket, sometimes you can throw over the top of cloud flats. Another problem I have with this game, but it is nice to see that curl flats are a lot better, because I could not stand a 5-yard curl route giving up a table route here. But yeah, the double Mable does a really good job of taking away the short flat, the deep flat, and then taking away all their flood concepts. So that's how you use it to really take away the tight formations, the bunch formations when they want to call corner routes and really just attack your, you know, your defense. All right, so I mean, we did say it was lockdown coverage. So how can we just make this just a little bit better, you know, if we want to blitz them? So we're going to talk about 2 more things, 2 more coverages. But what if we want to blitz them here? Because a 3-man rush isn't really the most viable defense. So we have to find a way to, you know, get pressure on the quarterback here. So that's a great question, and we have the answer. So what we're going to do is we're still going to run our cover 2 double Mable, but instead this time we're going to use our slot corner here. And you want to get really fast with those adjustments. Like, you just want to understand what buttons those are and make those as quickly as possible. So now we have the same 4-man blitz that we've been talking about, you know, all year, where we're going to be trying to loop around. You're going to pass commit, like we talked about a couple of videos ago in some of the secret tips that you can use to get better on defense. Pass committing when you have a good blitz is one of those. But, you know, they try to flood one side of the field. Right here, once again, let's just say they try to flood the other side of the field, and then they try to have a check down as well to the the left side. So they call a play like this. I actually like this route. This is actually pretty good looking here. But we take the snap and boom, we're just able to do a really good job of taking away their corner routes on both sides. And then all you really have to do, the thing about this defense, I will tell you guys, look at the middle of the field. As soon as the play, look in between these hash marks. There's nobody. And the thing about it is right here, I'm blitzing my user in practice mode, but that's where your user has to be. Your user has to be so disciplined over the middle of the field, because if they call a drag coming from left to right here, they call a short drag, and they have a deep post, right? There's no one over the middle of the field like you're able to see right here. You have to, make a good decision with your user on what routes you want to take away. And that's why not everyone can just run this double Mable coverage, because there's going to be times where good offensive players are going to beat it by just throwing the ball over the middle of the field. That's how you beat this defense, if you guys were curious, if you guys want to see, and that's what people are going to try to do versus you. But here, you're able to see, we get a pretty good blitz, and we bring the quarterback down pretty quickly. Their flood concept over here is taken away, and then over here we have a cloud flat. Like I said, if you want to back him off a little bit further to help him take away that corner out, you can do that. But the double Mable coverage, its principle is take away the sideline at all costs. Do not give up a 5-yard out route. Don't give up a 25-yard corner route. Don't give up any crossers up the sideline. Whatever you have to do, take away the sideline. And when you do that, what ends up happening is the middle of the field just gets vacated and left entirely to your user. Now, people that have good users and people who are disciplined with their user, they're going to be perfectly fine, because just stay over the middle of the field, whether it be short, deep, intermediate, whatever it is, have a good user over the middle of the field, and then good offensive players are going to counter that by calling a short drag and then a deep post over the middle and make you pick your poison. So this is a good coverage if you're playing against people who love to run crossers and corner routes and out routes up the sideline, but you have to stay disciplined with your user over the middle of the field, because you're able to see with this picture, no one's over the middle of the field. It's going to be entirely left up to one defender you're using. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So safety to nickelback, talked about it earlier in the year on this NCAA, how we can take away corner routes. But here in this video, we're going to talk about it because, well, what if, okay, so we call the same little cover 2 double Mable. Well, I mean, so we have the same defense on the field. Cover 2 double Mable, we're trying to take away, the sideline. Well, what if they motion out Isaiah Bond and they put him on, a post route here, which is exactly what we're going to call here, players not showing up. But we take the snap, look who's in the middle for us. We just, that's a phenomenal play, actually. That should, I don't know how he played that, actually. But the principle is the middle of the field's wide open. That's not going to happen very often, where that guy's able to recover and make a play on that pass. Maybe if I stepped up a little bit further. This is what I'm talking about. The reason why he was able to play this isn't even part of the video, but the reason why this guy was able to play is because I drifted too far back in the pocket. If I stepped up, made the throw easier, it would have been easier for my quarterback here. But what I'm talking about, the middle of the field's wide open. Like deep over the middle. So that's kind of, it's a cover 2, right? That's going to happen anytime you call, whether it be normal cover 2, Tampa 2, cover 2 hard flat, cover 2 double Mable, middle of the field deep is wide open. So the way that we're going to kind of counteract that is we're going to use these outside thirds. We're going to use these outside thirds here. And then we're going to put a middle third, and then we're going to put our 2 cloud flats and our 2 curl flats here. So now it's going to look something like this. And this is a insane defense. I remember playing against Fancy. I think he just won a belt, right, in the MCS. I remember playing against him just a year ago, right? So at the beginning of Madden 24, kind of this time in one of those early tournaments. He sat in this coverage all game versus me, and I was running it versus him too. He did a much better job beating it than I did, but he ran this coverage against me, and I could literally could not put together back-to-back drives. I would be fine one drive, and because I would just call a outcome like this, right, where we're going to put X on a drag, B on a post, or tight end on a shriek, clear out that zone. So I would call something like this, and I would high-low his user. Okay, which one does he guard? But eventually, he just started having a really good user. And so, I mean, and then I couldn't throw my corner routes. There was no route that would get over a 30 or a 25-yard zone drop and still get underneath of an outside third here. And it's like these outside thirds, they play so much better than deep halves, like at stopping corner routes. Like it's not even a comparable thing that you can do comparing a deep half to an outside third here. But like I said, I'm playing against Fancy, and I just couldn't beat this defense. So when we try to now the middle of the field's also blanketed as well. So if they try to call like a shriek, a flood concept here, and then they take the snap, you're able to see we even have our outside third here that's going to do a pretty good job. And then we also get pressure on the quarterback. Outside third does a pretty good job taking away their corner route. And then if you go ahead, back off your cloud flats, you're going to have an even better job. But now if they try to, we're going to try to throw that same crosser to, Isaiah Bond right there. Yeah, but we try to throw this same little cross here to Bond. And this time, we have, not only do we have that middle safety there to like take away the middle, so that the safeties don't like split. We also have that guy, although, he probably was open. We also, you just have to have a good user. That's the thing. Like these zones, you can't get zones to just guard everything in this game. Like that's the thing. When people say, oh, it's so hard to stop corner routes. Like, yeah, it's hard to stop corner routes. And I'm telling you guys ways that helps to stop corner routes, but you can't expect zones to, necessarily stop everything here. They call it a cover 3 beater, which is why, they have a corner out here that does a good job holding down the outside third, which is what's on the field. But having a good user over the middle of the field, like you're able to see the reason why this stuff is wide open is because I'm having no user right now in practice mode. But you have a good user over the middle of the field, you take away that crosser, and then you pass it off to, your cloud flat or your outside third. It's going to be perfectly fine for you. You're going to be able to stop them. But, the middle third defender, which is why we switched to the cover 3 double Mable with these outside thirds. That middle third defender is going to do a really good job of closing off the middle of the field and not just allowing a post, just split your cover 2 safety. So if you get what I'm saying, those cover 2 safeties, they're kind of in a bind, trying to defend the sideline, trying to defend shrieks up the seam. Adding a little bit more support with this middle safety number 2 in a middle third is going to be pretty good for you, and it's definitely going to help you out in playing defense. All right, so there it is, the most frustrating defense coverage to play against here in college football 25. And I forgot to mention, this can be done out of any defensive formation. Actually, I've been running the cover 2 double Mable really ever since like Madden 22, Madden 21, and it really doesn't matter whether I run it at $1 nickel through 3 stack, 3-5 wide, which was in like Madden 22 and 23. I would run it out of a number of different defenses. It's really just the principle of it. The reason I'm in 3-3 stack right now is because I have a pretty good blitz out of it, but the cover 2 double Mable can be running out of any defense. So really good way of taking away sideline routes, whether it be crossers, corners, out routes, whatever it is you're struggling versus those, just hit them with a cover 2 double Mable, and remember that you have to have a good user over the middle of the field in order to run this defense and stay in it. So that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, but don't forget down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on. Check me out on TikTok. I post daily video tip clips for you guys, like 3 of them a day, to help you guys get better at this game. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, and I'm gonna get y'all out of here. Peace.